Welcome back to Limitless Mentality, where we discuss profound psychological truths to help you improve your life. Today, we're uncovering the hidden cost of happiness in a success-obsessed world. Everyone talks about chasing success and finding happiness, but what most people don't realize is that constantly pursuing one can quietly sabotage the other. In a world that rewards hustle, status, and appearances, we're paying an emotional and mental price that no one's really talking about. This video is about exposing that truth, so you can start living on your own terms. Somewhere along the way, we started tying our value to how much we achieve. Not who we are, not how we treat others, not how deeply we feel or connect, but what we accomplish. You graduate, get a job, hit a milestone, and for a moment you feel good. But then, the bar moves. You need more. A promotion, a bigger house, more followers, more recognition. And if you're not hitting those marks, it feels like you're falling behind in life. That's the hidden cost. Your sense of peace gets trapped in a never-ending loop of proving yourself. The world may clap for you, but inside, it never feels like enough. We're taught that working non-stop is a badge of honor. You'll hear people brag about sleeping 4 hours a night or grinding on weekends like it's a sign of greatness. But here's what rarely gets said. Constantly pushing past your limits slowly chips away at your joy, your health, and even your ability to feel present. Burnout doesn't just show up one day. It creeps in quietly. You stop enjoying things you used to love. You feel numb even when good things happen. And the scariest part? You get so used to that state, you forget what peace even feels like. Success without rest isn't strength. It's self-neglect. Social media has turned validation into a drug. A post gets likes, a video goes viral, and suddenly, you feel seen. But that dopamine rush fades fast. And when it does, most people try to chase the next high instead of asking a deeper question. Does this actually fulfill me? That's the cost. Replacing inner purpose with outer approval. You could be winning in the eyes of the world and still feel empty in your soul. Fulfillment is quieter. It comes from living in alignment with who you are, not from how many people clap for you. But in a success-obsessed world, we rarely slow down long enough to notice the difference. Success often turns life into a race. You look at what others have, and suddenly, your own life feels small. You start comparing timelines, incomes, lifestyles, and before you know it, people become benchmarks instead of human beings. Friendships turn into silent rivalries. Moments that should bring joy get overshadowed by comparison. What's the cost? Real connection, genuine presence, the kind of relationships that make life feel rich. When we're always trying to measure up, we forget that life isn't a scoreboard. It's a shared experience. And success that isolates you isn't worth chasing. We're constantly told to stand out, be exceptional, build a brand, become a somebody. But that pressure often leads people to shapeshift. You present the best version of yourself, the curated one, the one that fits the mold. And slowly, the real you gets buried. You start to filter your personality, hide your doubts, suppress your quirks. You become someone who's easy to admire, but hard to truly know. And deep down, that disconnect hurts. Because no matter how impressive your life looks, if it's built on a version of you that isn't real, happiness won't stick. The truest joy comes when who you are and how you live are finally in sync. There's always a next milestone, a next level, a bigger goal. And it sounds motivating, but it's also a trap. You start living in a mental future where one day you'll finally be happy, finally feel enough, finally rest. But here's the catch. That day never comes if you don't know how to enjoy the now. You keep delaying your peace, thinking it's on the other side of the next achievement. Meanwhile, your actual life, this moment, today, just slips by. That's the hidden cost. A lifetime of chasing without ever arriving. Success is great, but not if it keeps you stuck in the future while your real life happens in the background. A lot of people chase success, not because they love the game, but because they're trying to fix something inside. Maybe it's childhood insecurity. Maybe it's a need to prove someone wrong. Maybe it's fear of not being enough. And yes, success can cover those wounds, but it doesn't heal them. You can be rich, admired, and praised, and still feel like that scared kid inside. In fact, sometimes success makes it harder to face yourself. Because the outside looks so good, you start ignoring the inner pain. But healing doesn't happen through achievements. It happens through honesty, self-awareness, and giving yourself permission to feel, even when the world tells you to keep grinding. Success today often comes with branding. You need to look the part, sound the part, play the role. And while there's nothing wrong with having goals or building something meaningful, the danger is when your image becomes more important than your identity. You start living for perception, not truth. You do what's expected, not what feels right. And slowly, you lose touch with who you really are underneath it all. That's a high price to pay. Because the moment you forget yourself in pursuit of the image, happiness slips out of reach. You can only feel joy when you're being real, not performing. In a world obsessed with success, doing nothing feels like a sin. We've been conditioned to associate worth with output. If you're resting, relaxing, or just being, it feels wrong, lazy, unproductive. But here's the paradox. The more you link your value to your productivity, the harder it becomes to just exist. Even when you're not working, your mind keeps racing. You feel guilty for slowing down. But peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from knowing you're enough, even when you do nothing. That kind of stillness takes courage. And it's a form of success most people never experience, because they're too busy trying to earn what they already deserve. Most people are chasing a version of success they never consciously chose. It was handed to them by society, family, media. Make money, be admired, stay busy. But if you actually stop and ask yourself, what does success mean to me? You might realize your answer is totally different. Maybe success looks like peace, or creative freedom, or raising a family, or traveling, or healing. The real cost of never asking that question is waking up one day with everything you were told to want, and realizing it's not what your soul actually needed. Redefining success is one of the bravest things you can do, because it means stepping off the path others expect and choosing your own. Chasing success isn't wrong. But when it comes at the expense of your joy, your health, or your identity, it's time to pause. Real happiness doesn't live in your achievements. It lives in your alignment. When your values, your choices, and your inner life start to match, that's when you feel truly free. Not because the world approves, but because you finally do. Which of these hidden costs have you felt most in your own life? And what would success look like if you got to define it on your own terms? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more eye-opening insights. Until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and stay limitless.